Welcome to the Wildcast Podcast, coming to you from Wildcast Studios with your hosts Adam Lund and Jeremy Boucher.
Oh, welcome back or welcome in again to the studio, depending where you're listening. This time, actually on YouTube. We remember to hit record. Welcome into the Wildcast Podcast, your unofficial voice for all things Moncton Wildcats. As always, I am your host, Adam, and I am joined by my co-hoster, your favorite co-hoster, mass singer, aficionado, just everything. Everybody knows what he is. Mr. Junior Boucher, how are you, buddy?
Poutine prognosticator.
Poutine prognosticator. We can add that to the list. Absolutely.
Just start, keep adding to my resume as we go along every week. And yeah, here we are, another special Tuesday edition.
Yes.
Because the Wildcats keep putting games on Tuesday nights, and that's usually when we do our show. So here we are.
It's not even a special Tuesday anymore. Now we're basically just a regular Tuesday. But you know what? It feels kind of like a regular season now. Remember 2 weeks ago, it didn't feel like we should be watching hockey in plus 12 weather.
Yes.
The last couple weeks, it's been garbage.
Mm-hmm.
And, well, it feels like it's hockey weather.
Yeah, pants are back on. No more.
Which is always a good thing.
No more running around in my shorts. But yeah, no, it's some good hockey weather. Hopefully we can start turning the corner. I'm ready for some suns out, guns out, and just ready to take these sleeves off and bare arms.
As you can tell, it is kind of cold, and we're both in sweaters here. So, jam-packed show. Let's get right to it. Hell's Kitchen. You could see it coming. Amber finally gone. That leaves us with Declan, Cody, Mary Lou, Corey for the final four. Man, I really want Declan to get this thing, but I don't see him leading a kitchen, and that's winning the show is one thing, but you got to remember they're leading a kitchen after they win this. So Can I see it? No. I think, do I want to see it? Yes, but do I see it actually happening? No. I think Mary Lou or Corey, I think it's going to be a woman.
See, that's what I said. I said at the when we started doing these shows, I predicted. I said I thought Corey was going to be in the race. I thought Mary Lou was going to be in the race. Did I pick these four as like the final four?
I think you did, yeah.
So yeah, I'm doing pretty good here, and I'm still picking Corey as my winner. I think her cooking experience. She's already an executive chef, I think. So yeah, she's already got that experience running the brigade, and we're only a few weeks left of this. Of Hell's Kitchen. So if you don't like this segment of the show, you only have a couple more weeks to put up with it.
But you know what segment you may still want to stick around for? That's the Big Brother Canada's part. Episode 5 was, I don't know, last Saturday or Wednesday or Sunday or whatever it is. So have you watched it?
Yes, I'm all up to date here.
So if you haven't watched it yet, fast forward a couple minutes on this. So you messaged me. Our picks might be in danger.
Yes.
Tara was my pick. Is she still alive?
She's still in it.
Yes.
Yeah, she's still in it. And Rohan was my pick from the get-go.
Yeah.
So we had I forget who won the HOH. Beth won the HOH, I think.
I think
so. So Beth won the HOH, and she nominated my pick and your pick. There's to avoid any spoilers here. I know the past few weeks I would say who won the Power of Veto, even though the Power of Veto episode is only Wednesday night. So I'm kind of being a spoiler when I say that. So I'm not going to go out and disclose the Power of Veto here. But yes, our two picks, Adam, are on the block, and so one of us could be going home, if you want to put it that way. But I'm hoping that the Row show, as I like to call them, can come through in the Power Veto, and I'm sure you're feeling the same. But I mean, your pick, Tara, is not much of a threat.
No.
So I think she's more or less there as a pawn. I do think Rohan's a target.
She's the quiet type.
Yeah,
just kind of hangs out.
I think she's really just up there for decoration. I don't see a situation where she goes home this week.
Right.
But yeah, I think my Row show could be in trouble.
All right, and so now that that's over, the real reason we started all this and what everyone loves, Masked Singer, we got back to Group B. Piglet, Black Swan, Chameleon, Grandpa Monster, who I'll tell you who was revealed in a minute, and then Crab as the wild card. Piglet, last week I was sure was Casey Kale from The Bachelor. And then you got these clues, a lot of football clues, a lot of Friday Night Lights clues. So I don't think it's him anymore. Grandpa Monster I had as The Miz. I saw, a lot of heavyweight clues. He was a wrestler. I'm not up to my wrestling as I usually am, so I didn't know if he was still actually wrestling or if he took a break. There was a W that was upside down, so that's, he usually has the WWE microphone and upside down for The Miz. But the Grandpa Monster was revealed as Logan Paul, who is apparently a YouTuber.
Yeah, my 12-year-old, 13-year-old nephews like to listen to him.
Okay.
He's fighting against is it Conor McGregor or is that his brother?
I think his brother's wants to fight McGregor, and I think he wants to fight Mayweather.
Right.
And I can't remember which one fought the basketball player Robinson.
Yeah, they're both a couple idiots. In my
opinion. They look like it.
But in case you didn't know, you can become millionaires on YouTube. So that's our dream, right? That is why we came
Please
out with
like
this
and
show.
subscribe, and then we can become millionaires.
Smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, because you really don't know what can happen.
Exactly.
I think Steve Dangle from Sportsnet just started with his own show, and look at him. He's now got his he's on Sportsnet every all the time, and he's got NHL connections and all that. So that's not to say that's what we want to go that hard, but that's obviously what we want for the Q. We want to have
just here to promote
and get some high profile guests. But you can apparently make a living out of being a YouTuber.
Yeah. So you got any other guests for anyone else? Because I got a guess for Crab, which
I think it's
Layla
pretty
had
obvious.
The guess
I think
for
it's
Crab.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
For me, I don't know. Did you have a guess for it?
Yeah. Do you want to go 1, 2, 3 and guess at the same time?
Okay.
1,
2, 3. Bobby
Lionel
Brown.
Richard. Okay.
I'm on board with Ken Jeong. I really think it's Bobby Brown.
All right.
Just there's so many connections to the Jackson family, and I think he was in a relationship with Janet Jackson.
Okay.
At one point, he's got that sultry, voice. That's just my guess. These are always tough. The first week's always tough, but
I went Lionel Richie. Same similar voice, similar style. I mean, they talked about. I can't remember what one of the clues was. Something about being down and coming back up or having family troubles. Obviously, Nicole Richie being his daughter. I mean, they were not on great terms, I guess, for a while. So, and actually, Layla mentioned Lionel Richie. She's a huge Lionel Richie fan. So, well, really, who isn't? But so yeah, I'm gonna stick with those ones. Like you said, I mean, the first week I was 95% sure based on the clues, Bachelor, blah blah blah. Then you got into Piglet, and it's all football clues the next week. And this has been the hardest group, like both Group A and Group B for me. Like Black Swan's a hell of a singer. I'm not sure who that is. Chameleon knows Niecy Nash.
Yeah, it's a really tough group. Really tough group. But no, like Bobby Brown, he's got the connections. He was married to. Was he married to Whitney Houston?
Yes,
he was. Was he married to? He wasn't married to Janet Jackson. I don't think. But
so.
He has a connection to the I think the Jackson family. So.
And there was a B clue, which was Gladys Knight. Right at the end of his clue package, there was a B. So that's why I lean to that type of soul singer who, I mean, Lionel Richie was in the Commodores, Gladys Knight in the Pips. It's same kind of thing. So that's why, I mean, even I'm trying to check if Bobby Brown was married to, just for my own reference here.
Well, he was married to Whitney Houston.
He was married to Whitney Houston.
We know that.
No, Elisa Etheridge in 2012.
Okay.
Still married to her, I guess, now. So
yeah. So he's had his fair share of, his relationships, ups and downs. So I don't know. That's just I was when Ken Jeong said Bobby Brown, I was like, yeah, that's for me. That's it. I was completely on board with that, and I'm sticking with it.
It's been a long few years when you're agreeing with Ken Jeong. He's come a long way, eh?
He really wants that. Is it the Golden Ear? Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Yeah, he really wants that Golden Ear trophy.
I won't lie. I just want to get through Group B to get to Group A to find out who these Russian dolls are.
Mm-hmm.
That's like
It's Hansen.
when it's green. Yeah,
It's Hansen.
could be. We'll have to see what.
Bet you $100 it's Hansen.
No.
Okay.
I don't have $100, so I'll see if maybe Layla will take that bet. I mean that fourth clue, right? Like the fourth member clue. I really want to see who that is. So that brings us to the end to our pop culture reference. As always, you can follow us on Twitter, Moncton Wildcast, on Instagram, Wildcast Podcast. You can like and subscribe on YouTube, and now we are on the TikTok. Not many videos. It's more of I have nothing to do, so I just want to scroll TikTok every now and then and put up a few hockey style videos. So quick question.
Yes.
All right. This roster is not what it was not what it was presented at the start of the year, and obviously injuries are playing a big part in that. You've made no bones about how bad that 2016 roster was. We're not saying this is that roster, but I guess just given the injuries in the past few lineups we've had, how do they compare with that 2016 team?
So before we start getting into this, let me make one thing clear. I'm not comparing this team to the 2016-2017 team when we have the likes of Daou and Barbashev and LaBelle in the lineup. I'm comparing this team to what our lineup looked this past weekend.
Right.
Which to me it's so comparable. Like it's such a young lineup. Some names that you wouldn't you go and ask somebody in Quebec, like a Ramparts fan, if they can pick out this player or this player and this player and tell me where they played last year or where they were drafted. It's tough. It's really tough. I mean, if you look at it in the 2016-2017, the second half team, we had players like we had 17-year-olds, Mika Sear, Jeremy McKenna, Jonathan Ashborough, Adam Capinelli. Players that grew within the organization, and were here for 2-3 years.
Right.
So those right off the bat, those are four players that you at that point in time you were excited to watch as a fan. On this past weekend's roster, you got to look at Iasenza, Casey, Filion, Darcy. These are players that are going to be around for a few years. To me, the goaltending, Lund Cornish on a good night is apples and oranges better than a combination of Matt Waite and Dominic Tomei. But if you look at Lund Cornish on that game against St. John when he gives up 5 goals on 9 shots or something like that. Yeah. Then you start leaning towards the other side. But no, I will take Dakota Lund Cornish over Matt Waite and Dominic Tomei any day. The defense, I would give the edge to this year's team. When I say this year's team, I mean this past weekend's lineup. But at forward group, I got to give the edge to the 2016-2017 team, just because you had, I think that was when we had Aspro as a forward.
Correct.
So we had Mikas here, we had Jeremy McKenna, we had Adam Capinelli and Jonathan Aspro at the forward group. So with that said, I still think the lineup we saw this past weekend is better, but my goodness, if we don't get some bodies back, it could be a tough stretch. But no, this team is performing so much better than the 2016-2017 team, because we were losing by 5, 6, sometimes 7, 8 goals a game.
Oh, really?
It was tough. It was tough to go to the rink. They were tanking for Lafreniere, which obviously didn't happen, but we got worked out with Jacob Pelche. So we're not going to complain there. Things are a little different this year. We're trying to stay out of a lottery pick, given one of our biggest rivals happens to have our selection. But I'm not too concerned. It's we're at 5th, 13th overall right now, which would give Halifax like a 2 or 3% chance of winning the lottery. But at the same time, that's where St. John. Those were St. John's odds when they won the.
If Halifax has a 2% chance, Halifax is winning the lottery.
Yeah, and that's the same odds that St. John had when they got Joshua Waugh first overall. Yeah. So, I'm not saying that they don't have a chance at it, but it's they would be. I've said this many times. It would be the most Moncton Wildcats thing ever, if if the Mooseheads had odds like that and ended up getting first overall. Yeah. So, the most we can we can just pray that somehow we can pick up some points and kind of jump out of that instead of 13th overall, 12th overall. I don't care if it's 12th overall. I'll take it.
Yeah, we're 14th right now, which is the 5th spot in the wild card.
That's what I mean.
And we're chasing.
Terrible.
No, it's fine. We're chasing Halifax. Mm-hmm. Halifax is the 13th team, so it's going to be a difficult climb, especially when we don't know if we're gonna get to play them. So, I think. It's funny. I joked. I said, we talked about it the whole time. We're not going to be Bathurst bad. We're not going to be Bathurst bad. Well, take 3 of our top scorers out of the lineup. Mm-hmm. One of our more veteran defensemen who's played some games in the league, call up these young kids, and all of a sudden, it's not Bathurst bad, but they're in every game. They're competing hard, minus maybe 2 so far in this restart. But we'll get to that. As we recap it right now, we're going to get to some news and notes from around the queue.
News and notes from around the queue.
All right, good news. We got playoffs set in the Quebec divisions. Bad news, we're not sure when they're going to start. They were slated to start this Thursday. Your matchups, Val-d'Or and Blainville, Chicoutimi, Shawinigan got the byes. So Drummondville versus Sherbrooke, Gatineau versus Rouyn-Noranda, Victoriaville versus Baie-Comeau, and Quebec versus Rimouski. I don't really see any upsets in them first 4. They're 3 out of 5. I mean, I think you got Drummondville, Victoriaville, Quebec. I think the most interesting series there is Gatineau and Rouyn-Noranda.
If we see an upset, it's because someone's team has a player that tests positive for COVID.
Yeah.
Because that's kind of what we're looking at right now is if one player or one member of the coaching staff tests positive for COVID during the playoffs, you are eliminated.
She gone.
It doesn't matter if you're, Val-d'Or and you just won game 1 13-1. You get a player that tests positive going into game 2, you are done.
That's scary.
Dunzell, Washington. You are nice. Brooks and Dunn.
Keep going.
It's that's it, right?
Yeah.
That's it.
That would be a tough.
That's a crazy stipulation.
Yeah,
that's just not the Quebec teams. That's the rule, right? That's where they're coming out with here. So, same thing in Charlottetown. Game 1, you whip an ass. 7-1. I guess they wouldn't by the time Charlottetown plays a playoff game, they're not going to be whipping teams around 7-1.
Yeah.
But Colton Ellis test positive before game 1 and.
Knock on wood, we don't want that.
I'm trying to think another name here to say, but Brooks and Dunn,
yeah,
you're toast.
Yeah, very Moncton feel for. I mean, man, Jacob Pelche and Jordan Spence, Sean Stewart, on their respective teams have that happen again, where COVID takes their chance at a championship away. Man, that's. But if everything goes right, I mean, you don't really see any upsets between Drummondville, Sherbrooke, Gatineau, Rouyn-Noranda, which I think is the better series in this first round. Victoriaville, Baie-Comeau, and Quebec, Rimouski. It's their best 3 out of 5, I believe. I don't really see any big shocks coming out of those 4 series, right?
I really don't. These are, look, we don't know, right? Once we get closer to the playoffs, maybe we'll throw out some predictions here, because they're supposed to start pretty soon, right?
They're supposed to start Thursday.
Right, so we should be doing a preview show, but that might be.
But we don't know when we're going to do it, so maybe the preview show will be next week.
Yeah, I will. I'll say I'll go on a limb here and say no upsets.
Okay.
And I think Gatineau's a little young. Is it Rouyn-Noranda and Gatineau?
Yeah, that's why that series intrigues me.
Ooh, okay. Maybe I'll take Gatineau. Actually, I will take Gatineau. I'll take Gatineau on that one.
Yeah, I mean they're kind of a like you said, young team playing with house money. I like them too. They are one of the teams reported to have some cases, them in Quebec. So we'll have to see. But like you said, they just pushed it back now. If they get once the playoffs go, once game 1 the puck is dropped, there's a case. You're done.
C'est fini.
Exactly.
That's it.
The QMJHL team of the week: Brady Burns, Jacob Mathieu, and Zachary Leroux are your forwards. Jeremy Poirier, Lucas Cormier are your defensemen, and Jonathan Lemieux is your goaltender of the week. So now we're gonna a little bit different. Our draft insiders here. We're not picking in the top 10, but these are some names, some early names from Atlantic Canada, the top 10 prospects. You're on.
Yeah. So we're, we still don't know what's going on in Quebec because, I haven't had a chance to watch any Quebec players. I can't, I couldn't even tell you the names of two guys to look out for. But I've been pretty lazy lately. Waking up in the morning and watching some YouTube and watching some streams. And fortunately, a lot of these teams have been making these games available for free on their YouTube pages or on their Facebook pages. So I've had a chance to watch a bit of those, intermissions at the Wildcats games, and the Flyers just happen to be playing during the intermissions. I'll turn on, their Facebook page and catch a few minutes. And so, yeah, I've kind of come up with a list of 10 for the Atlantic Canada group. So starting with a player, ironically, that's not even playing in Atlantic Canada, Tyler Peddle. He's at Shattuck St. Mary's in Minnesota. How ironic, a Nova Scotia kid playing in Shattuck St. Mary's.
Seen that before.
Yeah, Sidney Crosby, Nathan McKinnon. But he's not from Cole Harbour, so that's a good thing. He's from Antigonish. His dad, Brad, is the head coach at St. FX. So, he's got the hockey bloodlines. Number two, defenseman of the Charlottetown, Luke Coughlin, the real deal. I'm not gonna go out and compare him here to Jordan Spence, but probably the best defenseman that you'll see come out of PEI ever since Jordan Spence was drafted. So I really think this kid is a real deal. Number three, in our own backyard from the Moncton Flyers, Justin Gendron, forward, right winger. Reminds me a lot of a Alex Bocage. Wicked wrist shot, super accurate. Probably going to put up 40 goals in the queue at 18 and 19, so he's a player to watch. Fourth, Bradley Nadeau out of Fredericton, brother of Bathurst Teton draft pick Joshua Nadeau, who's don't think he's playing at Bathurst. Committed to the University of Maine. Black Bears represent. To all my YouTubers out there, I am wearing a for those that are not on YouTube, I am wearing a UMaine Black Bears hoodie.
I think they figured that out.
Coming in number five, another player in our own backyard, defenseman of the Moncton Flyers, Dylan McKinnon. Offensive upside, maybe, but he's going to be very strong defensively in his own zone. Kind of reminds me of I would say a Jared Baker out of Cape Breton.
It's not a bad comparison.
No, it's not. Solid defensively. Will put up some points. I think he has that ability to, every shot he takes from the point, it will get on net.
Okay.
So he's going to generate some points off rebounds. So that obviously things can change at the next level, but I think his offensive upside is there. I don't think he's going to be an offensive defenseman, but he's going to be a really strong two-way guy. Number six, out of Cole Harbour, Jake Todd has literally came out of nowhere and tore up the Nova Scotia League as a 15-year-old. To me, size-wise, reminds me a lot of a Brad Marchand. Just needs to be a little more of a shit disturber to kind of get to that same level. Number seven, out of PEI, actually started this season down in the States, but because of COVID, wasn't getting into very much hockey, so we'll move back home to PEI. Cam Squires plays for the Mount Academy Saints. His brother Jacob Squires is on the Cape Breton Eagles, so another skilled, going to be high scoring forward at the next level. He's probably someone that could be rated higher on my list, but just hasn't. He was dominated at Bantam, but just hasn't really stepped it up. So I don't have him that high on my list for that reason. Number 8, defenseman of the week's major midget program, Corey McGillivray. Haven't had a chance to watch him a ton, but I've heard some good things. So I just have him on my list for that reason. I know, bad scout. You're fired. Number
You're better
10,
than I am.
Yeah, number 10. Sorry, number 9. Sorry about that. Forward out of the Mount Academy Saints program, Matthew Peltier. So playing over in PEI, but he
Any
is,
relation
no,
to
zero.
any of the Peltiers?
Zero,
in the league?
I don't
Okay.
think so. He's from here in New Brunswick. I think he's from the played out of the Northwest program in Bantam. So he's from New Brunswick. Super. I mean, like work ethic is off the charts.
Right.
Sometimes it's probably the hardest working kid you'll see. Compete levels there, work ethics there. He's got the skill. His feet's always moving. There's no stops and starts when this kid's playing. I like him a lot. Yeah, he's from New Brunswick. He played at the in the Northwest Bulls Bantam program. So he's from that Edmundston. I don't know exactly where he's from, but Edmundston, Grand Falls area.
Okay.
And so last year he was at Bishop's College, which I think is in Sherbrooke, Quebec. So, he's been to Bishop's College, went to Mount Academy. So when you see a player like that, you kind of have that. There's those NCAA aspirations. So you got to think that, if he can get drafted by a team that's close to home or going to give him some good playing time, he'll definitely report to the queue. And finally, at my number 10 spot, Mount Academy Saints again, defenseman Nathan Mossy. Right-hand shot, really good, strong defensively. So yeah, that's kind of like just a brief look. That was 10, right?
Yep.
Okay. There was a name I had on my list, but I had to remove it for reasons I wish not to disclose.
Dun, dun, dun.
So if you'd like to know who that name is, you can kindly message me and I'll let you know. But yeah, anybody that's out there should probably know who I mean. And it's not attitude reasons. It was just like I said, I had my reasons. So if you want to know who that player is, you can message me and I'll let you know. So I had to throw on Nathan Mossy in there as a last minute, literally no more than 15 minutes ago addition. Mossy is could be very well much higher on someone's top 10 list. But just because I had to make that last minute switch, that's why he's at my 10 spot. So that's what I got so far for Atlantic prospects. Couldn't tell you much about Quebec players. I know a few names. Ethan Gauthier, I think, is one of them. Denis Gauthier's son.
Okay, yeah.
Is one of them. Another one is Mathieu Catafort and Etienne Morin. Are three players that I've been hearing some very good things about. So those are just a couple three Quebec players that should do some damage if and when their season gets going. So I know that Quebec is kind of on one of those lockdowns right now. So a lot of their teams, they were supposed to start. I think they were supposed to get the midget AAA season off and running this weekend.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, that's not going to be the case. So, all we can hope for is that these teams, get at least, maybe 10, 15 games in before the draft.
Almost put them in a big bubble Gatorade challenge type thing and games on games. That'd be a perfect scenario. And
every time you turn around, there's always a player on a midget team in Quebec testing positive. So it's even that's hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to, getting some names out there for Quebec. So check back with again in maybe a month.
We got
a month or
of
two,
time,
maybe.
Yeah. We got plenty of time once the we're gonna go on a bit of a long playoff run here, but we've got some time to get there. And again, we own Valdor's first round pick. It's expected to be at the end of the first round. So
18th or 19th.
18th or 19th, yeah. So not a lot of top prospects that we'll be in on as we get closer to the draft, but if you want to know who we're going to be looking at, that's the guy to bring it to us. So we've looked at the future. Now let's look at the past.
Weekly Rewind.
All right, moving on. Let's not talk about the past. No, I'm just kidding. Not the best week for the Wildcats. They go 0-3. They fall to 8-13, 1-2 for a 396 winning percentage, which again, I mean, we're stuck in 5th place. It's pretty much angling to, I mean, unless we get hot here and we're able to get that bubble and play Halifax for a couple games and get some W's, it looks like we're going to play the Eagles in that one game knockout. So Tuesday night, man, it felt weird. I mean, not only because it was a rare Tuesday game, which I guess aren't so rare anymore since we got another one tonight, but the Wildcats score 14 seconds in. Pavan gets them on the board. Connor Richard on the 2-on-1, 2-1 after 1, and yeah, that's it. Poirier with a shot from the point. Reynolds on a weird one. Brady Burns on the power play. Like, it just 5 straight by St. John, and it was a 6. They scored the next 5. It was a 6-2 victory. I don't know if you want to put all these games together and then talk about them, or you want to go one by one.
Do we have to talk about them?
We should. We can talk about the team, I guess.
No, I mean, yeah. So Nick Pavin's goal, first in the queue, 4th fastest goal to start a game in Wildcats history, as we learned during the Wildcats trivia.
Yeah.
At the game Sunday,
yeah.
Saturday, whatever it was.
Sunday.
Yeah. So unexpected sources.
Everyone on the trivia was just like Connor Garland.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody knew that first name.
Oh, I knew. Yeah. Oh, I knew.
Did you win?
No, I didn't win.
Oh,
I don't
okay.
think I won. I should probably check to see if I did. Let's see. Check for wins.
Which, if you go to the app, you sign in, you check for wins.
I don't know. Shouldn't they call you or something if you did?
I think they usually call you if you win. So probably
if they saw my name, they probably wouldn't call me.
I don't think there was a. Yeah, no, there wasn't a debut in this game.
I don't expect to win. I don't expect to win anything on that app ever again.
No, I don't either.
Yeah. It'd be a cold day in hell anytime they draw my name or yours.
That's true. Anyways, yeah, Pavin scores his 4th fastest, and I thought it was tipped. I didn't think it was his. Like, it was kind of a seeing eye shot. Richard had a pretty nice goal, and then it's the second period, man.
Wheels fell off.
Yeah, it's the second period.
Yep. They held it late though. It was they had that 2-1 lead until about 5 minutes left in the second.
Yeah.
And then quick goals, right? That's the difference. Quick goals. You score 1, and it's like, the team can't bounce back, right?
Yeah.
They don't know how to react. It's like momentum is a big thing in hockey, and it's we saw that in the 3 games that we're gonna talk about here. That's all it is momentum. You get 1 goal, you have a lead, they just can't. They sit back, right? They shouldn't be sitting back is one thing. But yeah, it's like, the St. John gets 1, Poirier gets that 1 with about 5 minutes left.
And if I remember correctly, it was one he had to jump to catch. Like, it seems like the goals that kind of deflate this team are the ones that just don't quite get out, or it's a special play at the blue line that's held in to keep Moncton penned in, which generally ends up in a goal. And I think that was, if I remember correctly, I think he had to jump to stop that one from getting out of the zone.
Yeah, there's a lot of mistakes that they're making.
Yeah.
That should be preventable. Clearing the puck right on a player's stick, rimming it around, and when a defenseman's right there to keep it in, just take that extra half a second and just look what your options are.
Yeah.
Right. It's I think they feel pressured when they're in their own zone, and that comes with being so young. I'm sure if they look at the tape, they see how much time they actually have. But I want to get into not something that I saw in this game, but the Bathurst game that we'll talk about here. It's all about taking that extra look, or that extra half a second. But these it's really tough to, when you have a lineup like this, when there's so many players out of the lineup, that literally you could have Barbashev, Daou, and LaBelle as your number 1 line. If I'm not mistaken, is it not the number 1 line?
I'm pretty sure it was for most of it.
So you're literally down your number 1 line when you're rebuilding. Like, that doesn't help. It doesn't help you. Fortunately, we're going to get an extra body back this week. Fingers crossed.
And the other one might come back within a week.
Yeah,
We'll
so
see.
it's the next couple weeks might be tough, but when it gets down to it, it's I don't want to look too far ahead, but if you're in a 1-game knockout with a team like Cape Breton and you get a full lineup, we might be playing past that 1-game knockout.
If we go in with this team, I don't think so. But if we go in with the team that we had before all the injuries coming out of the March break, I got no issues with that. Transitioning to Friday, again, Wildcats start out great. They get the first goal of the game, and then it was really
Worse.
Yeah, 9-2. Like you said, I think it was 4 goals on 9 shots in the second period, and. I saw some people criticizing why is DLC staying in for 9. You've got the young kid pull DLC, like 4 goals on 9 shots. Of the 9 goals, maybe 5 of them were his fault. A few of them, like Kotkov, nobody stopping that shot off his helmet. There was one off Lawrence's skate. There was another one that was tipped in. Another one a tip right to Brady Burns standing on top of the crease. So not all 9 were, grade A opportunities that DLC should have stopped, but you're not putting in a 16-year-old goaltender off the bench, especially when it was back-to-backs. And I think I got to believe that DLC, it was communicated to him, this is your game, win or lose. We got one tomorrow. Filion's getting it. You're not going to put him in the third period. He's getting better, but you have to give him every opportunity to play at his best and win, and that is, you're starting tonight, you're playing, not off the bench cold. And, it wasn't DLC's best, but again, once this team starts to get some goals put in on them, it goes downhill, and
it comes back to just, not being able to recover, right?
Yeah.
It's just the
snowball.
They're timid,
Yeah.
they're young, they're inexperienced. We've proven that with a healthy lineup we can beat St. John, and I'm not taking anything away, right? When we started doing this season on this podcast, I said, I don't care if they lose 2-1, I don't care if they lose 10-1. If
Right.
they compete, I'm happy. They're competing.
Oh,
Right?
100%
They're competing. There's players out there that are working their asses off, and I couldn't be more happy because they're deserving every single opportunity they've gotten with this team. I still can't be mad. Like it's really tough. Like if this was last season and we got blown out, 8-2, 9-2 by a team from St. John, I would be dropping F-bombs every 2 minutes here.
And don't
right?
think St. John is in love and beating us 9-2 after we beat them last year.
Yeah, exactly, right? And it seems like every time we turn around, there's, with the exception of that 2010 season where we went all the way to the final against St. John, our team building is different.
Cycles?
Our cycles,
Yeah.
right? It's we get 1 year where Moncton's a contender, St. John's rebuilding. Moncton's rebuilding, St. John's okay.
Yeah.
Right? But to me, St. John's still so inconsistent, right? They're so inconsistent. They lose to Moncton, and then they beat Bathurst. But then they beat Moncton, they lose to Bathurst.
Yeah.
They can't get a streak going, right? And so that's what I mean. Like once we get to the playoffs, like they've made great moves, but they don't have that
Killer instinct?
killer instinct.
Yep.
Right? They don't have that. That's what they're missing. But they've got Ryan Francis, and I think I said a few weeks ago he's going to be a difference maker. He's been a difference maker.
Yep.
And he's going to be a difference maker next season. Like this was a next season move, but he's already putting his stamp on this organization.
Yeah, generally if, that team, you don't want to call them a one-line team because they have that second line of Burns, Gerard, and I can't remember who the other one is. I think it's McDonald, playing better. But if you have a good night against Kotkov, Francis, and Reynolds, more often than not, you've got a chance against the St. John team. And, just a week before this one, Moncton beats them 6-2. Now, we had Dow in the lineup. I think that was the game that LaBelle was injured, and I don't think Barbashev was there. But, I mean, we basically have a few extra players in this lineup, and we hang with St. John. We beat them 6-2. So, and you talk about compete, whether it's 2-1, 9-2, they come back the next night, and I would give them 45 minutes of hockey. It felt like going into the third, it felt like finally Moncton got over that second period hump. And, I mean, I bring it up. 21 goals for, 48 goals against. So if we can deny the long change, QMJHL, if you could just stop making Moncton take that long change in the second period, we should be okay. It's just something about that period. I mean, 26 and 22 in the first period, so they're up 4 goals in the goals for. The third period, they're now down 34-39, but 21 goals for, 48 goals against. There's something after that first 20 minutes, and I don't know if it's teams are, like Moncton just comes out so hard, and then teams are able to catch their breath. But it just felt like it was 1-1 for the longest time, and it wasn't going to be an easy one that Moncton was going to get. It was going to need to be a very difficult, lucky bounce, here or there type goal. They didn't get it. I mean, DeGagne comes out from the corner. There's not much pushback from a certain defenseman that you had teased on the post-game show to get down and dirty and punish him as he's banging in the puck. And then Cole Huckins, back-to-back goals, 20 seconds apart. I mean, again, both great shots by Cole Huckins. But
I thought we were still talking about the St. John game.
No, I'm in the Bathurst game now.
Okay.
Sorry.
I was like, DeGagne. What?
I was saying they got beat 9-2. They came back the next night and worked at it. But, I mean.
And this is, again, like I said, the quick goals.
Yeah.
Right? The quick goals. They're down 2-1 with, 5 minutes left. And, you're like, okay, all you got to do is get, a minute and a half left and pull that goalie, get that extra attacker, and, maybe get that tying goal. No.
Yeah.
Right? And then you got literally Huckins back-to-back. I think his parents were sitting in front of me because these Bathurst fans were all jacked up. But, no, both goals, you couldn't stop them. Like, you can't blame Philly on those 2 goals.
No.
The first one was just... he got down on one knee like he's proposing, like it was that that good of that good of a goal, and the second was just a wicked wrist shot.
Yeah, basically carbon copies, same spot. Same spot on the ice, same spot in the net.
So it's I'm glad we're on this game now because we can talk about players who we would like to see improve.
Okay, before we get there, do you want to talk about Tristan Sanchez? Did you? Making his debut, Moncton kid, took his lap, said it was a dream to play for the Wildcats, was very nervous. Like most kids that are getting called up now, they get the fourth line minutes. They're not getting a ton of minutes. I thought he made good, smart plays. I don't think the game looked too fast for him. I don't think he looked lost out there. I thought he played okay for his first game.
I couldn't agree more.
Okay.
I liked what he brought. Limited minutes, but still like what he brought.
Yep. Try to be physical every now and then.
Yeah. I don't think it's going to be his last. I'm sure. Hopefully we get some. When I say I don't think it's going to be his last, I don't think he's going to be back. Maybe again this season, because the Moncton Flyers, as per usual, are off to the New Brunswick Championship. So,
we'd like to be healthy.
Yeah, that too. I was actually surprised he got called up for this game because that was the same night that the Flyers were in Game 3 against the Northern Moose. So it was nice to see that they allowed Tristan to suit up.
Yep.
The Moncton Flyers were up 2-0. Well, they don't call it 2-0. It's the weird 1st to 6 points, which I don't understand.
I don't understand. It's the same thing
every
I've
season.
Never understood that.
In a regular year, it's 1st to 8 points, but because of COVID, it's 1st to 6.
Yeah.
Different, really different playoff.
It's basically a best of 5.
Yeah,
but they have overtime though, right?
They do. Yeah,
so they only have a 5-minute. Like it's not continuous, so maybe that's why.
Yeah, so it's a different playoff in midget, but no, happy with him. I hope he gets an opportunity next season. There's not going to be
a lot of spots.
Not going to be a lot of spots open, but we've had better stories.
And if you can work yourself into a first call up, not fourth down the line that you're called up when there's 5 injuries. I mean, it doesn't take much to be a call up. Get pot a goal here, play well, move into a third line, and you're kind of a regular for a couple weeks, and who knows. So yeah, well, instead of previewing the same two teams, I guess we'll go into what you wanted to talk about there, sir.
So, a couple players that I think they need to get their act together. I don't want to be in a foul mood about this one, because last thing we want is for our good buddy Richie to be listening in and him to call up Neil Hodge, and next thing we know, we're in the Times and Transcript tomorrow being called classless and unprofessional. If you don't know that story, again,
hit us up on the message.
Probably
and we'll let you know.
one of the better stories that you'll hear from a fan standpoint. We kind of mentioned it last week on the show because it was just kind of getting out there. So our friends up in Bathurst, following that loss against Moncton, they did a Facebook Live,
which they always do. They do post game just like I do,
and they had some questionable things to say about certain players, and it got to the point where some listeners of theirs took these comments offensively and decided to bring them to the attention of the Bathurst general manager, Sylvain Couturier, who then proceeded to listen to the show and become offended that fans who are doing a podcast to promote the team are criticizing players, which I think is all part of being a podcast.
Yep.
We're not gonna, we're homers because we cheer for the Wildcats, but at the same time we have our opinions.
So we try to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. It got to the point where Sylvain Couturier reached out to l'Acadie Nouvelle, or reporter, or as they called it in Bathurst, l'Acadie Poupelle, which means the Acadian trash can. So Sylvain Couturier reached out to a reporter, and basically there's a 2-page story in l'Acadie Nouvelle the next day about John and Marky being classless and unprofessional. So when we say these comments, we're not saying them because we want to be on the front page of the Times and Transcript. We're saying these because we are fans that are entitled to our own opinion. So Connor Olson.
Yeah, and there's a way to... We're not picking on the person. We're
Right.
picking on the type of play and what we see on the ice.
Exactly.
Nothing against the person.
This is new. Like this hasn't been all season. Connor Olson was very good in the first half. Played second pairing or third pairing?
Yeah, second or third pair. And he was who I was excited to see in the second half.
Yeah. So lately we've noticed that his responsibilities have been increased.
Yep.
He's playing on the top pairing with Tristan DeJong. So let's just say these two need to be separated. We would like to see Connor Olson lowered down on the defensive pairings, but maybe the third pairing with someone like Anthony Hamel. So that we could have a Pilote DeJong, a McKinney, who am I missing here?
Darcy.
Or
Iasenza.
Iasenza, and
Olson Hamel. Okay.
Right? So
That's different than what I was thinking.
yes, I just think maybe he can, just to get his confidence up a little more, take a few steps back in the lineup sheet.
Yeah.
And
And
put
you're not...
this in very professional manner.
Absolutely. And I've got the same thought as you. It looks like it's just not clicking the way it was. And I've said this many times on this show. I've tweeted it out. When you're afforded the luxury of a rookie of playing behind a Spence, a Stewart to play those hard minutes in DeJong, it's, you need to have the right guys in the right slots. And I think right now, playing so many games in the top minutes, it needs to go back. He needs to have his minutes reduced just a little bit. I mean, he can still be on the power play. I actually thought DeJong and Hamel give you a top pairing, and then Pilote and Olson. You don't have to demote him to the third. You can put him on the second pair, but just to get the confidence back,
Mm-hmm.
right? And that's why I'm with you. Like it just something's just a fraction behind, and when you're a fraction behind in this league against these better teams, they pounce on it.
100%. My second player is Dakota Lund-Cornish. Look, he's been
It's like we've been doing this. We got the same players.
he was a very good acquisition for us last year. When we needed him, I felt confident with him going in the lineup. But make a save. Like that's your job here. Make a save. I don't think that St. John game would have been 9-2 if he would have made a save. Like there's a point in the game where you got to settle down, and you're a leader out there because you're 20. You're a goaltender. You're leaning, like a lot of these young guys are leaning on you, but you're also leaning on them. So I know it's a two-way street here.
Mm-hmm.
But some of these goals, I wasn't happy with them, and I'm sure he'd like to have them back as well. This may be the more. Can I call timeout? No, I can't. I can't call timeout. We're live. I want to put this in a really good way. Maybe it's time you let Filion
Get most of the starts.
take the charge.
That's what I said last week.
This is Lund-Cornish has been around long enough in this league to know that this is going to be Filion's net for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
3 or 4 years. I'm not saying I've lost confidence in him. I'm saying you've played your 4 years in the league. You've got your university commitment. You've proven what you can do in this league. Maybe it's time that you say, okay, well, let's give the kid a few more opportunities here. On that note, are we seriously going to be like starting Lund-Cornish against St. John every night, and Villion's going to be the Bathurst goalie? Like, is this what they're doing? Because that's not what you do.
No, it's silly.
I'm prepared to give Filion a start against St. John. I think he should start tonight.
Tomorrow night. Tonight's against Bathurst.
Really?
Yeah. Tomorrow night.
No.
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah. Tuesday is against Bathurst. Wednesday is against St. John. So
Really?
Tonight's against. Yeah. Yeah. So you're saying DLC tonight, Filion against St. John, and I'm bang on with you on that. I said it last week. I think
I read the Wildcats tweet wrong then.
I think Filion should get a bulk of the starts. Like, you can see him growing effectively. I don't want to say the team plays differently in front of Filion,
But they do.
but they do.
It's obvious they do.
We got 4 games coming up before we're back on the show. Filion should get 3 of them. Ride. This is the guy you traded one of the best defensemen
In the country,
country, the best defenseman to play for Moncton, or one of the best defensemen to play for Moncton. Sorry, I should choose my words differently. One of the best. He's the future in the net, and ride or die with him. From here on out, a game like if Filion was in that game against St. John and they get beat 9-2, we're not saying it wouldn't have been the same, because
it wouldn't have been the same. It wouldn't have
three
been
of the but 3 of the goals were not his fault. Like, one goes off Lawrence's skate, one gets tipped right to Burns. Like, there's some defensive issues in front of him. It's a young team, whatever. Let's say it's not different. It's 9-2. That's the game that your veteran can come in off the bench, because DLC's used to that. That's where I'm with you 100% on these 2 players. It's almost like we've done this together long enough. Fillion's got to get the lion's share of this thing. It's from now till we're eliminated.
That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Look, we don't mean to be, excuse my language. Nope.
A-holes.
That's the one. I'm going to not swear.
Yeah.
As I'm going to try to avoid swearing.
Yes.
We don't mean this to be a-holes. We are, like I said, we're here to give our opinion. That's what the podcast is all about. We're entitled to our own opinion, and I'm sure some of these players know that they need to be better. Uh-huh. But I am prepared to say we need Filion to start the majority of these games because he needs the experience. He's only played 3 games in a year. And in the 3 games he's played in 1 year, he has looked a lot better than a 20-year-old veteran. And I don't think I'm the only one who thinks that. And I know you agree with me, and I know our listeners are going to agree with me as well. I know our watchers will also agree with me. I'm not over Lon Cornish.
But he's got to be the veteran.
He's got to be the backbone, right? He's got to be the one to, when you need a save, he's going to make a save. Those 2 goals late against Bathurst, Filion wasn't stopping those.
Rodrigue last year probably
those were
wasn't stopping
perfectly
them.
play shots.
Yeah, Rodrigue wasn't stopping them. Ellis wasn't stopping them.
We can't fault him on the. I just say there's maybe been 3 goals that Filion's allowed that I say, okay, you probably have those ones back. But I saw 3 goals alone in the St. John game that Lon Cornish should have back.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a difference right now. There's a goalie that is stepping forward, showing that he needs to play more, and that's Vincent Filion. But we still have Lon Cornish to kind of be that motivator, right?
Yeah.
Like, when I'm not saying kick him to the curb and start Nick Sheehan as the backup, all due respect to Nick Sheehan. I'm saying Filion starts, Lon Cornish backs up, problem solved. I'm done.
Yep. No, I'm
Dunzel Washington.
Denzel Washington. No, I want to disagree with you, but I can't. I mean, I wrote the article on our website, which I kind of haven't kept up on. My bad. Early in the year, like, Dakota Lon Cornish has never been the starting guy. And there's a big difference between being the backup that comes off the bench and being the starter. And, he's kept this team. He kept this team in a lot of games early on. Since the restart, he's kept this team in a few games. But now it just seems like St. John and Bathurst kind of have him figured out.
Mm-hmm.
And, they
have a book.
Yeah.
They have a book on him.
Yeah. And
who doesn't St. John have a book on? Vincent Filion.
Yeah, he's played him once. So.
Really?
Yeah.
He's played St. John? I thought all this starts against Bathurst.
I'm going to double check myself, but I think he's played once against the Sea Dogs.
Really?
Dude, just hold on.
Well, why am I thinking every game has been against Bathurst?
Because it seems like that. He's played one. Yeah, the 30th. He gave up 6 against them.
Well, I'll be damned. All right. So
sorry still, about I mean, he's played 3 against Bathurst and 1 against St. John, and the game was, it was here. It was the 6-2 game last week.
Did I go to that game?
No. That's probably why. That's why. Yeah, you were at home. All right.
So my bad. I was always under the impression that he had started every start was against Bathurst, but
again, everything is building to next year, and to give Filion 6 starts in a year when he's going to get, if we have a full season, 30 or 40 next year as the number 1 guy, with some sort of a 17, 18-year-old veteran, I'm assuming. It just ride or die with him. Like, he's our guy. We got 4 games coming up this week. I want to see him in 3.
Take the bull.
Yep.
Take the bull and ride it.
Yep. All right, let's get to the everyone's favorite part of the show.
Eric Murray Realty. Buy a house from him.
Stick tap of the week.
So I don't really have a stick tap this week. I guess I kind of do. So I've had 2 poutines, which if you're scoring at home is well below what I would have anticipated to have eaten.
Still got 10 days. You still got 10 days.
Yeah. So I've had 2 in 5 days, so it's not bad.
No.
I'm doing all right. So I've had the Sports Rock Mountain Road poutine. That's got like fries and mac and cheese and deep fried hot dogs.
That was the Take Me Back one, right?
Yes. Okay. And some mild spicy, something funky ketchup. No gravy, which I thought was great.
Oh.
But just, and then just before we started recording the show, we both had the beef and burrata cheese poutine from Carrabba's at the Hyatt Hotel downtown next to the Avenir Center. I'll be honest, it tastes like dog food. Not to say that I know what dog food. Not to say that I know what dog food tastes like.
Right over my head.
But it looks like dog food. So I've got to give the so far poutine win to Sports Rock on Mountain Road. you know, Tanya Stewart, I don't know if she listens, but I'm sure she does. Reached out and said, where's it from? And I told her, and the next day she was eating it as well. So that was pretty neat. It's a artery clogger. I've been eating pretty good lately, but this one, whew, boys, it's be prepared. As Frankie McDonald would say, be prepared. Other than that, that's really kind of a stick tap so far. Just to say that, if you're gunning for a poutine and you want something different, get the one at Sports Rock on Mountain Road. Also, Craft Hockeyville voting starts Friday night. Is it Friday night? Voting starts at April 9th, which I think is Friday.
Correct.
10 a.m. Final Four. Elsipogtog First Nation is in the Final Four. And so, you can go on to crafthockeyville.ca to get your vote in. I think they've got a good chance because they had a fire that I think destroyed their arena a few years back. So they're trying to build. I don't know if they'll win because just because of how close Elsipogtog First Nation is to Renoose, and Renoose won a few years ago as well. But anything's possible. So 10 a.m. on Friday morning voting starts. So that's with St. Adolphe, Manitoba, Lumsden, Saskatchewan, Elsipogtog First Nation, and Tragically Hip Songpop Cajun, Ontario, is the Final Four. So get out, support these communities. Where my vote's going. If we can get a lot of support behind this bid, I think they've got a really good chance of taking it.
The Stick Tap of the Week, sponsored by Eric Murray Real Estate with the Remax Avante team. If you're looking to buy or sell a home in the Greater Moncton or surrounding area, make sure to check him out on social media or give him a call at 506-863-8802.
All right, that brings us to the Rosemary Lynn's Massage Wildcat of the Week. Her grand opening is April 19th from 4 to 8, and then opening day is April 20th. Located at 1224 Mountain Road.
420.
1224 Mountain Road, Unit 6. They offer relaxing, therapeutic, deep tissue massage, mommy-to-be massage, amongst other massages. Whatever you can get anywhere, they can hook you up. Book your appointment starting April 9th, so this Friday. When you're voting online, you might as well book an appointment for a massage. Call Nicole at 830-1224. As well, follow her on Facebook and Instagram, Rosemary_Lynn's_massage. So, I gave him grief for the haircut. We still haven't won since he got it.
What's up with that?
Yeah, that's weird. They were the hair twins, him and Huddy, but
they were looking fresh.
They were, and then he went and cut it off. So, but he's been playing well this season, whether it's second line, a few first line, some power play, and he's kind of become a penalty killing specialist with Jake Stewart. He had 2 goals and an assist over the past week. So your Rosemary Lynn Massage Wildcat of the Week, second time this season, is Francis Langlois.
Best answer in the queue.
Yes. So that'll do it for this week. Thanks for everyone for downloading the show, watching on YouTube. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Again, we got a game tonight. It's against Bathurst. Use your December 18th ticket. Wednesday's game versus St. John. Use your December 30th ticket. And we're finally into the 2021 tickets on Sunday, unless you're watching the Masters. Use your January 7th, 2021 ticket. So, again, thanks for downloading. Thanks for joining.
Who do you got for the Masters?
Jordan Spieth.
I don't know. I don't watch a lot of golf, but I hear a lot of good things with Bryson DeChambeau. Is that his name?
Yeah, I can't stand Bryson DeChambeau.
I don't know. I just hear a lot of good things about him. But
he went from like 120 pounds soaking wet to like 240. He bombed he basically just pipes it down about 40 yards farther than anyone, and
he's terrible at the chip and.
Well, no, he's getting better. He's reinventing the game basically. He gets it longer, farther than anyone. If he gets in junk, he can use a wedge. Like a normal 90-yard wedge, he's using it from 160 yards.
Okay, so he's just a tank then.
Yeah, he's a tank. Yeah, over 1 year. Like, if you go look at Bryson DeChambeau 2019 to Bryson DeChambeau 2020, he's a big tank. But Jordan Spieth always plays well. Dustin Johnson, those are probably my 2. So, And look out on Twitter. We'll share it. We'll be on the Double Digit Hockey Podcast tonight with John Ethrope, I believe is his name. Talking Q, talking Moncton. Maybe him and Jeremy will have a love affair for what's left in Calgary. I don't know. We'll have to see. But again,
You suck, Flea.
thanks, and we'll see you next week.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Wildcast Podcast. Follow us on social media at Moncton Wildcast.